What's up, guys? This is Dan for BladeReviews.com. Back once more with another knife review. This time around, we're going to be checking out the Zero Tolerance 0801. This is the Todd Rexford collaboration. At the time of me filming this video, the 801's been out on the market for well over a year now. It's taken me so long to get to this model because, frankly, I was not particularly interested in it when it first came out. I found the knife kind of plain, but heavy and chunky and, just kind of ho-hum. Wasn't particularly feeling it. That is until I managed to pick one of these up in person, and I liked it a lot more handling in person than I did just kind of looking at pictures of it. So here we are, and I've got it next to my Paramilitary 2 and Benchmade Griptilian. And as you can see, this is a larger knife. It's got a 3.5-inch blade. Overall length on this one is 8.2 inches. Weight 5.85 ounces. So it's a full-size knife, but it's more than anything, really. It's a heavy knife at almost 6 ounces. Definitely much heavier than the Griptilian or the Para 2, but they're all in the 3.5-inch blade length kind of area, so I thought that they might be appropriate for a size comparison. Anyhow, let's take a look at the blade on our 801. It is a drop point, very standard. Actually, it's almost a spear point if you look at it. It may be either a spear point or drop point depending on what your opinion of it is, but very simple. And the whole knife, the profile of it is just kind of very basic. And I guess that's what Todd Rexford's known for, these kind of understated designs. I found it a little bit boring at first, but it has grown on me somewhat. So drop point blade, high flat grind. You do have a swedge. That doesn't do anything to the tip, so you still have a pretty thick tip here, although the swedge does provide a little bit of visual interest and lighten the blade up a little bit. It's got a stonewash finish, nice attractive finish, and Zero Tolerance to do a very nice job putting an edge on this one. So, nice attention to detail, good fit and finish on the blade. The steel is Elmax, which is billed as a higher-end steel, an exotic or premium steel, and that Zero Tolerance is used on a number of their knives at this point. And I happen to like Elmax. It's probably not my favorite steel, but I don't really have a problem with it. It's reasonably easy to sharpen and holds a nice edge. Can be taken to a higher hardness, hence the kind of premium or super steel designation of it. But it's been a good working steel for me, and I've had it on a couple EDC knives at this point, and I do like it because I am able to, at the end of the day, sharpen it, but it still does have that good corrosion resistance, good edge retention, all the stuff that you look for in a hard-working, practical, everyday carry type steel. So that's the blade, and let's move on to the handle here, and this is a full titanium handle, which is interesting because there's really nothing else on the market that's a full titanium frame lock flipper. So to have this and to have it for less than $200 is quite interesting in my opinion. So here you can see that titanium handle, and it has been very well done. Quite a bit of machining on this, and everything is well finished. There's no tooling marks. Everything lines up very nicely, and has been crisply cut and well finished. All the hardware is of high quality. You've got this decorative pivot here. Every screw has been blackened. You've got these standoffs and this black lint that keeps following me around. But nice flow through design. Great fit and finish on this. I'm not the hugest fan of the machining here. You've got this sort of faux bolster thing going on, and then the Zero Tolerance logo down here. I don't know what I would have done with this if it was my design, but this is, it's okay. I'm not ranting and raving about it, but I'm not completely upset with it either. It's a little different, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, very nice handle, well constructed, full titanium. Quite nice. Let's take a look at the pocket clip here. It is a deep carry style pocket clip, blackened. Obviously has a ZT logo on there. Very similar to what you'll find on, say, this Kershaw Cryo. So it's something of a proven clip design, especially if you're a fan of deep carry or low ride pocket clips. It is ambidextrous, tip up carry only, and I don't have any complaints, especially at the price point here, sub $200. It's an okay pocket clip. It certainly works nicely. May not be the most beautiful pocket clip, but certainly functional. So ergonomically, the 801 is comfortable. There's not a whole lot going on here with this handle as far as ergonomic features. There's no real jimping on this knife, with the exception of the flipper tab. There's not a lot of really swoops or things like that. You do have some curvature in the back that does support your palm. You do have something of a forward choil here, which is nice. You can choke up on this blade a little bit. Just be careful, obviously, because your finger's real close to the edge. But it's a comfortable handle. I think it's going to work with a variety of hand sizes. I take a large glove, and I'm able to get a full grip on here. If you've got freakishly large hands, you may have some problems with the 801, but I suspect that you're going to have problems with a lot of knives if your hands are that big. But yeah, comfortable, practical, nice knife from an ergonomic standpoint. Let's talk about that flipper and the lockup. Obviously, it's a flipper design, and it's got a great D10 in there. Really opens with authority every single time. You don't need to preload it. It's a very robust flipper. It's hard to screw up the flipping action on it. I don't think I have actually been able to flub the flip, so to speak. So that's a great litmus test. With some of these knives, you really have to preload them to get the flipper action to work. Not the case with the 801. They've got a great D10 in here. The blade rides on Kershaw's KVT bearing system. So that's a plastic encased bearing system, and you can kind of see the guts of the bearing system poking out here, which I think's a little weird, but I guess that's what they had to do to make this design work. And I haven't noticed any issues. Of course, I haven't taken this to the beach and stuck sand in there to see what would happen to it. But in just normal carry, I haven't had any issues with that. And the knife is very smooth, and you can shake it shut like that, which is a great kind of thing to see there. The fact that it's so smooth that it just falls shut almost is quite impressive. Again, for a sub $200 production folder. So lockup is very good. You do have a stainless steel lock bar insert, and lockup is early, very, very secure. No lateral play, no up and down play. Just excellent, reliable deployment and lockup on this knife, which is really nice. It makes it a very satisfying flipper, and at the end of the day, a very functional knife that I can't really find much fault with. You know, the design is not going to be for everybody. Like I said, I wasn't initially particularly attracted to the 801, but it has grown on me. You can't get around the fact that this is an almost 6-ounce knife. It's heavy. For many people, I think you'll find it a little impractical for EDC, but still, it's a great collectible. You can carry and use it. It's priced aggressively, I think, especially considering the fact that there's no other titanium frame lock flipper currently on the market at the time of recording this video. So I think there's a lot to like about it. Made in the USA, great fit and finish. So if you're all interested in the 801, I do recommend it. Just understanding that it's heavy, and that's really the only downside I can see to it, unless you're just totally turned off by the look of the knife. So that's the review, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, this is Dan for BladeReviews.com. Take care, and I'll be back soon with another knife review.